back to Dunge Wood. As you can see, we've got some top boards fitted now of the fiddle yard. Completed the bottom corner, the curves. And then started fixing this into position now. It does seem to work okay. I've used track setters to set the curves. That's fine. I've got a bit of a query though, if anyone can help me with this. I'm using Streamline. I think it's code 100, isn't it? And what I want to know is how do I wire this up? But what I want to use is one of these. Does that come into focus? So it's a Insel frog diamond crossing. I want to put those in where the single slips are if I can, just so I don't have to use point motors really. But at the moment I just can't seem to get my head around the wiring. I just can't I can't fathom it at the moment. One of those days, I'm afraid. So if anyone can help, send me a diagram or something, that would be really appreciative of that. As I say, now I've started the Helix as well. As you can see, there's my template board with my little drawing of the cutout. I've already drilled, as you can see on these two here as well. Put them all on top of each other for drilling the holes, because then the holes are always directly in line with each other, which is really useful, especially when you're I'll show you on this cross here. I don't think I did as good a job on this as the previous one, but I've tried the board on it and it's okay. So yeah, like I say, I made a cross 4 foot wide, probably a little bit bigger actually, and then using one of these boards with the holes placed over the top, you can drill through and get your positions for your rods. And then the only other thing to do was, once you've drilled all the way through the wood at the bottom, I put a nut on the bottom just to stop the rod from pulling through. On the last one I'd done that, and when I was putting the first curve in, the first bit of wood in, as I was fastening the nuts together to hold it in place, it was lifting the rod out of the bottom piece of wood, so that's really useful. Anyway, I'm going to do a bit more work and then I'll come back to it. So there we are, there's the first donut cut and in position. It's a bit of a messy job this, and you need a face mask because this MDF stuff is not very nice, so yeah, I wouldn't do this in an enclosed space if you've not got a mask. So I'm going to exit the garage now and let the dust settle, then come back and vacuum it up. So as you can see, that's the first bit, and I've left the corner on here. Obviously it'll drop down, hopefully and be pretty much in line with that. We'll see. Okay, cheers. Back again doing a bit more work. As you can see, I've got the Helix bits all on top of each other. This is the way I did it last time and it seemed to work really well. What I'll have to do is I'll do the centre section first, cut the centre circle, and then cut the edge pieces probably mix and match because I had the template the wrong way up the last time, so I'm going to have to probably swap the top for the middle and cut this edge off as well. It seems to be a lot better fit on bars, as you can see underneath. Bars are much straighter this way, so I'll probably have to cut the legs a little bit as well to get it a bit closer to the wall. Got quite a gap down there, so right, I'll come back in a bit. Back to the Helix again, a bit more cutting to do. I'm going to cut the centre section out. I've got the 3 boards all stacked, as you can see. They fit really well on the legs, I'm quite pleased about that. I might have to shorten the ends. You can't really see, but in the corner you see it's right up against the wall, and at the top I've got a bit of a gap, so yeah, I think I might cut those. Yeah, see on here a couple of nuts on the rods, and you can stack them all up and use your template piece to cut through. I'll just drill a hole in the board and go around with a circular saw. Same with the edges. So I'll come back in a bit. Right, so there we go. Centre section cut out. It's okay. Quite tricky in this enclosed space. A bit stretching to reach the far side, but I'm quite pleased with that. It'll do the job. It's not as neat as I would like, but yeah, quite good. Okay, back in a bit. Got to cut the corners now. I've finished cutting the corners for the donuts, and the next thing I've got to do is cut the centre. I'll measure across there and then cut central, all 3 boards at the same time, and then they should all match up when they drop. And you put them in position on the rods, and then at some point I'm going to have to cut this middle boards piece out as well. The bottom one, as I said before, I'm leaving in. It'll match up with the baseboard at the bottom for the fiddle yard. So yeah, I'll get back to it. Put the first donut into position. It's not too bad a fit for just roughly dropped on, as you can see. Just a little bit of a gap, but I'm sure I can sort that out without problem. It's just roughly dropped on at the moment. But seems to be working okay. I'll have to fit some track first, so I'll come back once I've got a bit further. Continue on with a little bit more work. I've started putting the nuts in position, and it actually holds the board in place. If you don't put the nuts in position, they lift up, it flexes with the actual, wants to go back to its original shape, so you've got to do this or you don't get a true feeling of what the actual Helix is like. I'm trying to figure out now as well where to put the points at the end of the fiddle yard. I don't want to go too close to the end of the boards. I don't want any problems with the trains coming off and derailing. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but I just want to be sure. I've roughly put the track in position, as you can see. It'll give me a bit of a chance maybe to connect a couple of lines up and run a few trains around. If the trains go up the Helix, it's sorted. I don't think there'll be a problem, to be honest. I've got the other one to refer to, so I've got an idea of what sort of incline everything will cope with. And it's just a matter of then starting to fix. I mean, still got the gap, but just join it up and fix it up. The other thing I'm doing is also on the sections, just put the spirit level on and try and get everything flat across the rods. That's a pretty good check of things, just to make sure that you're not going to have your rails on too much of an angle or anything like that. Right, this is it. It's just fixing these points in position really. That's my next big job, and then doing the point motors, which I'm dreading. Oh, hate electrics. I've got to, as you can see, join the fiddle yard up as well, so quite a bit of work to do, and quite a bit of work to do on the Helix too, so I'll come back to you soon. I'll put all the washers and nuts in place and fix them in, and that is a real tedious job. I've got to wind them all the way down the rodding. It's a pain, honestly. And then this is something I've come up with to join the boards, just using these. Get that into focus. Maybe not. Yeah, using these from Screwfix. A couple of little bits of bracket, and not going to focus great. Or is it my eyes? I can't tell. Yeah, and you just drill through, and those fix the two parts of the Helix together. You have to take them off obviously first. You can't get the next board in, and also when the next board's in, you can't drill this, which I found out to my cost on the last one. Got it in and then realised can't drill, can't get the drill in at the angle. There might be another way to do it, but no, I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, the next bit now is definitely fixing some track down and working out where these points are going to go, so I'll get on with that. Done a little bit more work. The first three-way point's been fitted, and the linking point has also been fitted. It's only roughly done. I've not put holes in the boards or anything yet. I'll be doing that later. I really just wanted to get the first part of the loop in, so I can see what the outer track and where the next set of three-way points are going to be. It's a bit hit and miss, especially with me doing it. Yeah, it's can't always tell what it's gonna be like, but yeah, that was the easy one, straight through the centre. Yeah, so it's yeah, it's going okay. Quite pleased so far. Right, as you can see, all work's been completed. I did actually film this bit, but unfortunately the camera decided that it was going to corrupt the file, so hopefully we'll get the last section on and I'll try and video the whole lot again. So yeah, I'll come back when I've done a bit more. Final section of the Helix in position now. It seems okay. I've got the nuts in position, so I'll try and position the camera so you can just see me putting it on. That's the third section on. Got to do the join here, as I've done on this bottom one. See, seems to hold it quite well. Put the tracks in. The track I use for the Helix is the R607 for the inner. Middle track is the R609 nickel silver, and then I just set the a flexible outer section using the Pico spacer. It's quite simple really. It seems to work. So I'll do a little bit more, and then we might even get a chance to do a bit of testing. I've got the track up to the top level, which will be next section onto the scenic section, which I've got to put a section in here. So what I'll do is I'll do a quick test. I've got the Helix class 23, and we'll run it through the two helixes, well, up to the second helix, and see what happens. I'm going to run it quite quick because it'll take forever otherwise. So, first test seemed to go okay. I'll do a bit more testing, and we'll see how we get on. Dirty track. I think I bought some second-hand track for this Helix. Probably not the best idea, to be honest. So there we go. That might be the end of the video. I'll see if I can think of anything else to say. Probably not. Anyway, cheers.